Recent episodes of The Bold and the Beautiful have taken viewers on an emotional roller coaster as Liam Spencer's devastating medical diagnosis has led to unintended consequences that threaten to destroy Steffy and Finn's marriage. What began as an act of compassion has spiraled into a heartbreaking betrayal that could permanently alter the lives of everyone involved. Liam's devastating diagnosis. Liam Spencer's world came crashing down when he received the devastating news that he has an inoperable brain tumor. The diagnosis came after Liam collapsed at his father Bill Spencer's home, hitting his head during the fall, which initially led doctors to believe he had suffered a simple concussion. However, further tests revealed the shocking truth. Liam had a terminal condition with limited time left. Following the diagnosis, Liam made the difficult decision to keep his condition private from most people in his life. As Scott Clifton, the actor who portrays Liam, explained in a recent interview, when Liam really does sort of absorb this, and he recognizes that he doesn't have much time left, it really becomes about setting up the people in his life for success and happiness once he's gone. Clifton further elaborated on Liam's mindset. He doesn't want anyone to find out that he has this inoperable brain tumor because he has this sort of clock's ticking mentality. It just feels like such a waste of time to him to have conversations with people where they're just feeling bad for him or having to navigate other people's feelings about losing him. The decision that changed everything in a moment of vulnerability. Liam turned to two people he trusted implicitly, his ex-wife Steffy Forrester and her husband, Dr. John Finnegan. Given Finn's medical expertise and Steffy's unwavering support, Liam asked if he could temporarily move into their cliff house while dealing with his condition. The arrangement seemed logical. Finn could monitor Liam's symptoms discreetly, and Steffy could help with day-to-day care without raising suspicions among family and friends. Initially, the arrangement worked well. Finn balanced his hospital duties with checking on Liam's condition at home, while Steffy helped care for him and kept their daughter Kelly distracted. However, as days turned into weeks, the dynamic in the house began to shift dramatically. Memory complications emerged. As Liam's condition worsened, he began experiencing severe headaches and memory complications. These symptoms appeared to intensify following his earlier collapse and head injury at Bill's mansion. While doctors initially reported that Liam had not suffered memory loss, his condition deteriorated, and he began showing signs of confusion about current events and relationships. The situation grew more complicated when Liam's memory appeared to regress to 2019, a time when he and Steffy were still married. This regression mirrored a previous storyline from 2022 when Steffy herself had woken up thinking she was still married to Liam following an attack by Sheila Sharp. Dr. Grace Buckingham had noted multiple impact points on Liam's head following his collapse, raising questions about whether his injury was more severe than initially thought. These memory issues created a dangerous situation in the Forrester-Finnegan household, as Liam began to believe that his current living arrangement with Steffy was that of a married couple. The past resurfaces. Being back in the cliff house where he had once lived with Steffy and Kelly unleashed a flood of memories for Liam. The familiar surroundings, the photographs, the furniture, even the scent of the place, triggered powerful emotions and nostalgia. For Steffy, caring for Liam stirred up memories of their past together and the bond they would always share as Kelly's parents. As noted in recent episodes, Steffy flashed back to plenty of romantic moments with Liam while she was sitting at his hospital bedside. It seemed like a huge hint that B&B could be on the verge of pairing Liam and Steffy up again. Their history and continued connection have been highlighted repeatedly, with Ridge Forrester even commenting on the undeniable bond between Steffy and Liam. The night that changed everything. One fateful evening, everything changed irrevocably. Finn was called to the hospital for an emergency surgery. leaving Steffi and Liam alone in the house. With Liam's memory firmly stuck in 2019, he genuinely believed that Steffi was still his wife and that they were living together as a family with their daughter Kelly. Later that night, as a storm raged outside, Steffi was sleeping in her bedroom when she felt someone slide into bed beside her. Half asleep, and assuming it was Finn returning from his hospital shift, she responded to the embrace. In his confused mental state, Liam believed he was simply being intimate with his wife. The tragic misunderstanding led to an intimate encounter where Steffi believed she was with her husband Finn, while Liam thought he was with his wife Steffi. It wasn't planned, as one source describes a similar scenario. The house was filled with old memories. Liam had once lived there with Steffi and Kelly during happier times. And for Steffi, caring for Liam again stirred a deep nostalgia. She remembered the man who had been by her side during Kelly's earliest days. Finn's devastating discovery. The devastating aftermath came when Finn returned home earlier than expected from his hospital shift. As he entered the bedroom, he was confronted with the unimaginable sight of his wife in bed with Liam. The betrayal was made all the more painful by the fact that Finn had welcomed Liam into their home out of compassion for his medical condition. The sight stopped his heart. Rage, disbelief, and pain flooded through him. He had welcomed Liam into his home. He had risked his marriage to help a man in need. And this was how they repaid him. Finn's reaction was one of cold fury rather than explosive anger. Finn didn't yell. His voice was cold and sharp. "Get out," he told Liam. "Get out of my house." When Steffi realized what had happened, she was horrified and immediately tried to explain the misunderstanding. She begged Finn to understand that she had thought it was him in the darkness, that she would never intentionally betray their marriage. Meanwhile, Liam, coming to the brutal realization of what had transpired as his momentary clarity returned, was overwhelmed with guilt and shame. The fallout. Following the incident, Finn moved out of the Cliff house, unable to forgive what he perceived as a betrayal of his trust. Steffi was left devastated, attempting repeatedly to explain and reconcile with her husband. Their daughter Hayes, along with Kelly, was caught in the middle of this family breakdown, asking questions that neither parent knew how to answer. Meanwhile, Liam's condition continued to deteriorate without Finn's regular medical supervision. The emotional turmoil and guilt he experienced likely accelerated his decline, making his symptoms even more severe. Ridge Forrester, upon learning what had happened, confronted Liam furiously, accusing him of betraying his daughter's marriage and using his illness as an excuse. The situation became even more complicated when Liam collapsed again while spending time with Kelly and was rushed to the hospital. Despite everything that had happened, Finn's professionalism compelled him to treat Liam, though the coldness in his eyes was undeniable. It was determined that Liam's tumor had grown, necessitating risky surgery with no guarantee of success. A family in crisis. As news of Liam's condition and the incident at the Cliff house spread among family members, opinions were sharply divided. Bill Spencer was furious, both about Liam hiding his illness and about the situation with Steffi and Finn. Brooke Logan defended Liam, arguing that he was human, scared, vulnerable, and not thinking clearly. He didn't do this to hurt anyone. Hope Logan, Liam's other ex-wife and the mother of his daughter Beth, was caught completely off guard when she finally learned about Liam's condition. Despite Liam's initial reluctance to tell Hope about his diagnosis, Steffi convinced him that Hope deserved to know the truth. Hope and Steffi will come together in support of Liam, but they'll both be crushed over the outcome he's facing. There'll be some emotional moments as Steffi and Hope try to imagine their lives without Liam being part of the picture. The road to healing. In the aftermath of these devastating events, each character faces a difficult journey toward healing and forgiveness. Steffi agreed to attend joint counseling with Finn, desperately trying to save their marriage. During their session, Finn spoke of the betrayal, the humiliation, the loss of respect. Steffi spoke of the confusion, the flood of emotions, and the guilt she felt every minute of the day. Despite everything, Finn admitted he still loved Steffi, but didn't know if he could ever trust her again. For Liam, facing his mortality has been humbling. During a moment of clarity before his surgery, he apologized to Finn without excuses, asking for forgiveness rather than reconciliation. "You were the better man," Liam said, "and I broke that." Finn, still processing his emotions, simply walked away without responding. Uncertain futures. As this dramatic storyline continues to unfold, the futures of all involved remain uncertain. Steffi is focusing on rebuilding her life for herself and her children, hoping that one day Finn will see that her love for him has always been real, even if her actions that night were based on a tragic misunderstanding. Finn remains distant but watchful, a man trying to piece together what remained of his dignity, heart, and trust. And Liam, facing the reality of his limited time, is trying to make amends and ensure that the people he leaves behind will be able to find happiness and peace after he's gone. This heartbreaking storyline reminds viewers of the fragility of life and relationships, how quickly misunderstandings can lead to devastating consequences, and how difficult the road to forgiveness can be even when there was no malicious intent. As The Bold and the Beautiful continues to explore these complex emotions and relationships, fans are left wondering if healing is possible or if some betrayals, even unintentional ones, permanently alter the course of lives forever.